All right, in this video, I want to talk about a couple of switcheroos here. And the first one is starting with America and the American dream, where it started off with, basically the baby boomers, and they ended up introducing the Social Security number. And with this system, it started a Ponzi scheme, where if you get in on the Ponzi scheme when it starts off, you're going to benefit very much. But if you're in the middle of the Ponzi scheme, you might prosper, you might just get even, you might lose a little bit, right? But if you're getting in at the tail end, you're basically losing everything, right? There's no point in you even being part of it, right? And Americans have been waking up to this more and more so. And the people who are prospering from this Ponzi scheme are basically selling out and sacrificing their children, their grandchildren, their great-grandchildren for themselves to better their lives, to keep their prosperity going. And they don't want this whole system to come crashing down because they prospered off this Ponzi scheme and they want to keep it going as long as possible. They don't care about basically anybody but themselves. And you speak out against this, they're just going to try to gaslight you and provoke you because they don't care about you. And that's the honest truth. They just want you to get into the system to feed the Ponzi scheme. But a lot of people are realizing that, hey, why would I work the same job for less money and have to work longer hours and even get a second job just to make ends meet, to pay the bills? And, they'll gaslight you by saying, well, you make more than I did. When I started in there, I made $5 an hour. You're making 15. And it's like, oh, yeah, I'm making 3 times as much as you. But when you were there and you were getting paid $5 an hour, that $5 was worth 10 times as much, right, than $5 now. So I'm actually making almost 50% of what you're making, right? They try to make it sound like, see, you're making more money than I did. And it's like, no, because the value of the dollar is less. It's not, you can't buy as much. With $5 back then, you could take care of your bills for the month. I'm exaggerating a little bit. But today, maybe you can get a Happy Meal, right? Maybe. And it's ridiculous that how they would just try to gaslight you and dismiss this kind of thing. So where's this switcheroo come in? Well, you see, the people are waking up to this, and they have been for a while, and they don't want to do all the shitty work for less and less money and have to work more jobs and all that. So these people, they don't care about their children, their grandchildren, and their great-grandchildren. So what do? Well, we'll just bring in immigrants to hold us up and keep the Ponzi scheme going, right? And this is where the whole switcheroo comes in, right? Because you got a baby boomer, Donald Trump, in office, and he's acting like, yo, I'm going to bring back jobs because I'm going to get rid of the immigrants. But that's not true. You see, they got you used to the immigrants doing all the jobs that you don't want to do, so that when they bring in AI and robots to do it all, where they don't need you anymore, you're just kind of used to it because those jobs weren't available anyway. So then they kick out the immigrants because they don't need them anymore. They don't care about them either. They're just using them to prop up the Ponzi scheme. And then they'll bring in the AI and bots to do that work. And then whatever other jobs are left, they'll give it over to the AI and bots eventually. And then you're gone, right? And that's what the switcheroo is. They switch out the immigrants with the bots, right? First they switched you out with the immigrants, and then they'll switch the immigrants out with the bots, and boom. You and the immigrants are sacrificed, and they get you and the immigrants fighting against one another. Well, they're running away with all the wealth, laughing at you because they're narcissistic, sociopathic psychopaths that don't care about anybody but themselves. And they actually blame you for being stupid enough to go along with their nonsense, right? because they're heartless monsters. It's the truth of the matter. And when things really start to hit the fan, they'll start either civil war or world war or any kind of war to get you to take all your anger and frustration out on somebody else that doesn't even deserve it. To go get you to go and kill somebody else and let out all that steam, or go get killed yourself. Right? But there's another switcheroo. And it has to do with another country where they're trying to create this, basically this self-fulfilled prophecy. This doesn't apply to all Jews, all Hebrews, all of Israel. But there's a group there, just like there's groups among all the different religions and nationalities and races and sexes, where there's just people where, yeah, there's some bad apples, right? And there's a group here that actually believes that the world eventually is going to come after Israel, but God's going to intervene and help Israel, and Israel is going to end up conquering the world and being the head of the nations, right? And they think they can help promote this and push it to happen sooner by actually provoking the world into hating them. So there's a little kind of switcheroo going on here where Israel is baiting the world into hating them, creating anti-Semitism, where there's actually a lot of Jews that hate Zionism because it creates anti-Semitism. And they're actually promoting this while pretending to be against it to try to get the world to come against them, and even get the Gentile world to fight each other over this, so that the world can come crashing together, and the Gentiles will fight the Gentiles, and then Israel will sweep in and take out the rest and end up being the next superpower, as they believe it will bring in their Messiah, who will come in to actually set this up. And the switcheroo comes in here, where it's actually the one we call the Antichrist, the man of sin, the lawless one. He's going to come in and actually do this for Israel very soon here, to set Israel up as the next superpower, to be the head of the nations. Where people are going, oh, is America gonna be the next head, or is it going to be Russia, China? No, it's in the middle there. It's Israel. And they're going to follow this false Messiah, because the false Messiah is going to give them what they want, what they expected Jesus to give them. They expected Jesus to throw off the Roman Empire and rule as king, but he didn't. And that's why they rejected him. The interesting thing is that this prophecy is actually true, but the one that they accept as their Messiah is eventually going to turn on them as well. And it's not until they actually turn to Jesus and call on him that God, Jesus, comes and actually saves them. But anyway, I just wanted to make this video talking about this switcheroo. So thanks for your time and attention. I appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. May God bless you and yours.